lovers, and welcome to the Liberty Mike podcast, broadcasting from an undisclosed location in the heart of Dixie. I am Michael, and I am here with Liberty Larry.
How's it going?
I'm doing all right. How are you?
Pretty good.
Good. You gonna cough your way through another episode?
Possibly.
I wonder how many people that are listening now have listened to the last episode. Or I wonder how many people aren't listening to this episode because they're listening to the last episode, because we usually don't stack them like this.
Don't get caught up. I think it'll be all right.
Yeah. We threw the schedule off, man.
Yeah. Well,
schedule's important.
It is important. Well, I mean, we're riding the ship today.
Exactly. Yeah. And then we'll screw it up again in a couple of weeks when I'm not here.
Yeah, well.
But we do have an episode in the can. Got to remember to maybe put that out there. Maybe.
Yeah, at some point.
I might take the recorder to Europe with me.
Yeah.
Maybe I could record something with my cousin.
They got internet over there? You going to be able to put it up?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what my cousin does for a living. So
then we should. Okay.
Solid internet.
Solid internet. That's an important thing to have.
Dude, Basel is one of the richest places in Europe.
Yeah. Well,
it's not one of the richest places in Switzerland, specifically. Actually, I think it probably is one of the richest places in Switzerland too. But I'm sure that Zurich and Geneva are wealthier.
Yeah.
But I don't know that for sure. I didn't look it up.
You hadn't pulled the stats.
It's really just not relevant to me.
Yeah.
Except suddenly it came up right here.
Yeah.
I actually, as far as banter before we get started here, I've watched a couple of last year's movies that were supposed to be really good.
Yeah.
So one of them was Sinners.
I hadn't seen it.
And it really was good.
It held up.
Yeah.
To the hype, I guess.
Yeah. It was really good. It does, there is a bunch of racial commentary in there, but it's set in 1932 Mississippi.
Yeah. And does it fit?
Yeah, well, that's the point that I was going to make, actually, is that it feels like that arose from the story rather than the story being the reason for it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Like, I think one of the problems that we've had is the message being more important than the story, and this felt like the message just arose from the story, that the story was the important part.
Yeah.
It was a good story.
Oh, that's good.
Maybe familiar to some of you, actually.
Right.
I'm going to give everybody a week to watch it. I think it's on Prime right now, so.
Okay.
With mine said with limited interruptions, and I had only one marker for a commercial, but didn't even play a commercial there, so I actually saw the whole thing without a commercial.
You got no interruptions.
None. The other one was Mickey 17.
Yeah, once again, I hadn't heard of it.
It's a sci-fi film with Robert Pattinson.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Surprised I haven't seen that.
But yeah, I am too. About 30 minutes in, I completely lost interest.
Oh, so it didn't hold up?
No.
Oh, well, that's disappointing.
No. I mean, suddenly I realized that an hour of the movie had passed, and I'd just been on my phone, and I had no idea what had happened, so I just turned it off. And
yeah, it's clearly not holding your interest.
Yeah. It's disappointing, because he seemed really good in it, but it was...
Yeah.
And he's one of those that I hate to admit is actually a good actor.
I was fixing to say, like, I've always kind of not liked the guy, but at the end of the day, he does a good job.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I can't complain about the Batman movie.
Yeah. There's one, it's like Cosmopolis or something like that. Pretty much the whole movie takes place in the back of a limo.
I hadn't seen that, but you've told me about it. Yeah.
It's surprisingly good, and he was great in it. Yeah. I thought.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I feel like I got to give him a little more credit.
Yeah. It's like when I was younger, it was oh gosh, now
Tom Cruise.
No, Brad Pitt.
Oh, Brad Pitt. Okay.
You have to hand it to Tom Cruise in a lot of ways, because he does, like, he works.
He does his own stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He learns a lot for the roles. He works at it. But I honestly don't think Tom Cruise is that great an actor.
Okay.
Although he is probably the last movie star.
Yeah.
I guess Brad Pitt's still a movie star. You see him from time to time still.
Yeah.
But Brad Pitt's actually like really good.
I like Brad Pitt. I've never held that grudge against him.
Yeah, I don't know. It's something about the pretty boy thing.
Yeah. I mean, I get it, but yeah, I never that he's one I never held it against though.
Yeah. That was maybe I'm enough older than you that it was more
I don't
in
know.
my face.
I mean, but the first movie I really remember him from was Fight Club. I know he did stuff before that, but like that's what I know him from. Like that's like his movie to me, and he's not the pretty boy in there. So,
I mean, yeah, he is.
I mean, I guess so, but I don't know. The
but
movie's,
no. The movie is so good though.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Understandable. And I think Legends of the Fall is a fantastic film.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Getting some head nods over here.
Yeah. All right. Anyway, let's.
Yeah. enough of the movie critiques.
Yeah, Sinners, watch it. Mickey 17, you can probably skip.
All right.
To summarize,
Yeah.
the TLDR is Sinners, watch it. Mickey 17, maybe not.
Yeah.
All right. What do you want to start with?
Go where you feel. Go where your heart takes you.
Okay. Okay. I think the most important thing going on is that the Trump administration has let the New START treaty expire.
Okay, you're gonna have to remind me what that is.
Yes. Oh gosh, what does it stand for? Strategic Arms Reduction Treaty.
Okay.
It is the last. It was the last treaty limiting the number of nuclear forces that could be owned and deployed by Russia and the United States.
So we're no.
So now there's no limits anymore.
Yeah.
The Russians said, we think that we offer an extension for a year while we negotiate something new. If you want to negotiate something new.
Yeah.
And Trump was asked about that, and he was like, I think that's a pretty good idea. But then the White House,
they didn't do it.
Yeah, the White House just never responded to the Russians. And
I mean,
now it's gone.
That sounds about like Trump.
Yeah, it does. So now there are no more nuclear arms restrictions or treaties restricting the number of nuclear weapons.
Yeah. Between the two biggest holders of them.
Yeah. And part of it is that like this weird like round robin kind of thing. The US doesn't wants to include China in any nuclear arms reduction treaties, and China says, why should we reduce our number of nuclear arms when both you and Russia have like 3 times as many as we do?
Yeah, I mean, for their part, you really can't blame them.
Yeah.
I mean, because the numbers are like ridiculous. I don't know exactly, but it's somewhere like in the neighborhood of China having like 300 and something, and us having thousands.
Well, that number has gone up, so it's
I know
probably
that they're
more
gaining,
like it's probably more like 600 now.
Okay.
Probably between 500 and 600 thermonuclear weapons.
Yeah.
And Russia and the U.S. The limit that the treaty set was 1,550.
Okay. So you got to figure we're both probably humming around there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so China doesn't want to enter a treaty to reduce their arms when they already have significantly less than the two other signees.
Our goal should be to get to their level.
Yeah, exactly. And they'd probably be on board with that, actually.
Yeah, I mean, if that was the agreement, it was like, hey, China, stop growing your arsenal, and we will reduce ours down to your level. I think that'd probably be a fair gambit.
Yeah, I think that they would probably go with that. The interesting thing, I thought, like looking at the news on this, was the CNN headline, and it was like I should have written it down exactly, but it was like the ending of the New START treaty shows that Russia is no longer a superpower.
How does it show that?
Well, I read the article, and essentially their argument was that that Russia can't get the U.S. to sign to extend New START or to agree to a limit on nuclear arms because Russia is scared because they can't keep up with a new arms race, and the U.S. Isn't scared of Russia keeping up with them in a new arms race. So it just shows that Russia doesn't have the power and influence that they used to intimidate the U.S. into agreeing to a limit on nuclear arms. Now, of course, 1,500 thermonuclear weapons is more than enough to destroy the world.
Yeah,
on each side, here.
Exactly. Yeah, because you got to remember what we're talking about. We're not talking about conventional weapons here. We're talking about the big boys.
Yeah, and so they were saying, excuse me, Russia just doesn't have the economic power to compete. Of course, the Soviet Union didn't have the economic power to compete with the U.S., and there's reason to believe that the nuclear arms race is what broke the Soviet Union economically.
Yeah.
But this time, Russia isn't. Actually, I don't think that they're in debt, but if they are, it's not a significant debt. And the U.S. has a $38 trillion debt. Right. So who's going to get broken economically by another nuclear arms race?
Yeah, that makes no sense.
Mm-hmm. Especially if Russia takes the attitude of, well, we've already got more than enough nuclear arms anyway.
Yeah, let's just kind of hold what we got.
Yeah. And part of it is that it comes down to Trump's apparent attitude about negotiations, which is if they're willing to negotiate, they're too weak to win.
Yeah.
I mean, it does seem to be just this power-focused idea of negotiations. If the other guy's willing to negotiate, then we shouldn't negotiate because he can't keep up.
Yeah.
He can't win. That's why he wants to negotiate.
Yeah.
We're more powerful, or he wouldn't want to negotiate. That seems to be the attitude. And that kind of seems to be the attitude with the Iran stuff, too.
Yeah.
Which I think runs a parallel here. Although with Iran, Trump does seem to be willing to engage in another nuclear agreement of some kind, which at this point will probably be less stringent than the one that Obama negotiated that Trump broke.
Yeah.
In 2018, I think. But this time, things just aren't going really well for Trump.
Yeah.
and I think the desire for a negotiation, because they met in Qatar today.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, Witkoff and Kushner met with the Iranian foreign minister, whose name I cannot pronounce.
Yeah.
And the foreign minister said, it was a good start, but apparently it was indirect negotiations again, which means that they don't deal with each other directly. They're using a go-between.
Yeah.
I'd kind of be surprised if anything significant came out of it, but nothing significant has to come out of it. Just something needs to come out of it so Trump can say, I've negotiated a new deal. It's the best deal ever. Yeah. They'll never get nuclear weapons now, about a nation that's not even trying to acquire nuclear weapons. So well done, buddy. But
yeah.
But fine. I don't care. I mean, it would be nice if there was something else to provide some kind of impediment for the U.S. going to war with Iran with the excuse that they're developing nuclear weapons, right?
Yeah. I mean, so we're moving like an armada over there, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's basically what I've heard.
Yeah, there's a bunch of ships going that way. And I think it's because there's an understanding. And here's something else to remember, is that last time the U.S. bombed Iran in the 12-day war,
yeah,
we were negotiating with them.
Yeah.
They used negotiations as cover for a military operation.
Yeah, and
so
the Iranians haven't forgot about that.
No.
As we're moving all these ships their way, I don't know.
It's pretty sad to take an outsider's view of this and think, okay, the Iranians appear to be negotiating in good faith. The Russians appear to be negotiating in good faith. The Americans aren't.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so, yeah, certainly the Iranians haven't forgotten that last time they were negotiating with the Trump administration, Trump bombed them.
Yeah. Yeah.
With new meetings set already.
Yeah.
So
well, the big thing that worries me moving all these ships into the area, it just leaves more space for something to go wrong. The more military hardware we have in an area, the greater the chance that something stupid happens on either end, our end or theirs.
Yeah.
And next thing we know, we're in a war here.
Yeah, absolutely. And Iran is bigger and more powerful than Iraq and way more powerful than Afghanistan. And think how those went.
Yeah, the last thing we want is another war anywhere. But Iran is a particularly, not that we can't beat them, but it's just going to be a costly war.
Yeah, it would be very costly. They can reach out and hit American forces.
Yes. And Israeli forces.
Yeah.
So, I'm
honestly less concerned about the Israeli forces.
Well,
it sucks for them too, but
it sucks for it.
They're instigating this in a lot of a lot of ways.
The only reason I worry about it is because the Trump administration will take a hit against Israel as a hit against the U.S. Like there's no space in between the two.
Yeah, that's probably true. Netanyahu's instigating conflict between the U.S. and Iran with the understanding that Israel can't win a direct conflict with Iran, but they want to be rid of them. Yeah. And so the U.S. becomes... You remember all those stories during the Afghanistan conflict where the U.S. would go out and they would be gathering intelligence, and then they would find out, and then they would strike a new terrorist compound and so forth, and then they would find out after the fact that the local warlord that they were talking to, that was just a rival warlord, but he knew to tell the Americans that it was a terrorist. So
they knew what to say to make us have a reaction.
Yeah, and to wipe out his competition. That's kind of that's what Israel is doing with the U.S. And that's, if the U.S. is willing to go out there and fight for everybody else, then that's what you're going to end up with. Especially in the places where you don't really have an understanding of the culture or the history or whatever. And I have really little faith that Trump has any understanding of history or culture and almost anywhere.
Yeah.
Including here, frankly.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's a poor set of decisions. I still think that conflict is the most likely outcome, but I do have at least some level of faith that Trump really doesn't want a conflict.
Yeah. No, I would agree that he doesn't want a conflict. My worry is that he's laying all the groundwork for there to become one.
Yeah.
Inadvertently, not necessarily on purpose,
Well, the Armada's going there because the U.S. wants to do their best if a conflict arises to protect the Straits of Hormuz and keep them open.
Yeah.
I don't think that they're capable of it. I think even the great U.S. Navy up against ground forces, like ground-based rockets, because Iran's right there. That's why they can control the Straits of Hormuz.
Right. They're
I think that's not... I don't think that that's the fight you want to get into.
Yeah.
You're at a disadvantage logistically.
Yeah. Yeah.
Regardless of technological prowess and so forth.
Yeah.
You're just at a disadvantage logistically.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens. I wonder if Adam Curry thinks that if Trump does end up starting a war with Iran, can I start criticizing him again? Yeah. Is that okay, you think?
It's never okay. That's my takeaway from all of that.
And I did give him credit when he pulled back before, but it was, but I did it with the caveat that you don't know where he's going from here. It was less than a week before he started threatening to bomb Iran again.
Well, and it was a huge gamble either way, because Iran could have started hitting legit targets and not making announcements before launching and that type of thing. The things that we know that they did that was able to de-escalate it, they could have went the other way.
Yeah.
Because if Iran had started hitting U.S. targets, we would have had to have responded. Like, there's no way we were going to just sit back and let that happen.
Yeah, certainly.
So.
And I think that this is a problem with Trump's outsider status in terms of diplomacy, because the truth is the way the Constitution's set up, the president is the commander-in-chief of the armed forces when in a state of war, which means that Congress is supposed to have declared it, and then the president becomes the commander-in-chief.
Administers it, yeah.
Yeah. But the president's actual job within the Constitution is to be the chief diplomat of the United States. And I don't feel like he has an understanding of state-to-state kind of diplomacy.
Yeah.
And it comes back to that power thing. State-to-state diplomacy is always a compromise. And I feel like he just believes that if they're willing to compromise, then they're too weak to stop him.
Yeah.
But that's just not how state-to-state negotiations work.
Yeah. I mean, even if it is true, because...
Well, it might be true, but... Well, and certainly, like you said before, in a conflict with Iran, the U.S. would win eventually.
Yeah.
But the losses would be significantly greater than we experienced in Iraq and Afghanistan.
Yeah, and a lot, from my understanding at least, like a lot quicker.
Yeah.
Like that we would start taking some losses pretty early in the conflict.
Yeah, they've prepared themselves. I mean, they're not a defenseless country.
Yeah. Which is the reason that that nothing has changed there over all this time, despite like president after president, like this being a thing in every administration, they're still there.
Yeah.
And that's why.
Well, as I understand it, since these protests, you are getting within Iran more calls for U.S. military intervention to overthrow the regime.
Yeah.
Now, whether that's just like a really vocal minority or what, hard to say.
Yeah. I just don't put a whole lot in that. I mean, I'm not saying that it's not there. I'm just saying people don't naturally root for another country to come in and overthrow their dictator.
Well, they're in desperate straits, though.
Yeah, I get it.
Now, the irony of it is that it's U.S. sanctions that have put them in desperate straits.
Yeah.
And probably, like, if you want change in Iran, a natural way of allowing change would have been to allow them to grow economically.
Yeah.
Like, nobody's, I guess, over here satisfied with the changes that have occurred in China, but China has liberalized their markets significantly over the last few decades as they've gained more economic power and trade power.
Yeah.
The thing is that it is just harder to rein in a people that is prosperous.
Yeah.
And the same, I think, would have happened in Iran. Like, if you allow economic growth in Iran, you develop a larger middle class who are historically the bringers of that kind of social and political change.
Yeah. And
if they're in a position where they have some leverage because they have some wealth, then great. But I think I read something like 9 million, and I may have this number wrong a little bit, but I think it was like 9 million middle-class Iranians over the last decade since, Trump's maximum pressure campaign started, have sunk into poverty.
Yeah.
You've actually reduced that agent of change within Iran. to fewer in number and less influence and economic power. So you may have been able to get the desired change by interacting with them, by trading with them, by engaging with them.
Yeah.
Rather than forcing a collapse of the society to try and trigger regime change in that way and justify a military intervention.
Yeah. Which has been the campaign forever now.
Yeah. But the thing is that those other things, they make all of us wealthier.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's
whereas the military campaign makes a few people wealthier.
Yeah. Actually makes us poorer.
Yeah.
And them destroyed.
Yeah. Well, but military contractors, big military companies.
Well, I'm not saying there's not money to be made. I'm just saying the country our country as a whole is made poorer through this.
Absolutely. I mean, that's okay. We're raising the defense spending by 50%.
Yeah.
Because we don't spend enough. We already spend 5 times as much as China and 10 times as much as Russia. But
got to get ready for that next world war.
We need to make it 7.5 and 15 times. So
yeah,
I just don't think we're so threatened.
Yeah,
we have really strong natural barriers.
Yeah, I mean that's. And we're getting the Golden Dome too, so
right, and Greenland,
yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm actually my biggest concern is the loss of the nuclear restrictions.
Yeah.
Whether or not it actually triggers a new arms race, we'll see. It wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah.
I mean, there's plenty of people that benefit from that spending too.
Oh, absolutely.
What else are you going to do with that $500 billion extra dollars?
Yeah.
May as well build some nukes.
Yeah.
That's safe.
That's safe, right?
Yeah. There's a lot of those people that say, well, hey, having nuclear weapons has created the longest instance of peace. Like there haven't been any great power conflicts since, we dropped the first nuclear weapon. It's like, well, but we have constantly. We just do it in other nations.
It's all proxies.
It's all proxies. We destroy some little nation while the two big nations fight in a way that they can deny that they're fighting each other.
Yeah. Exactly.
So that you don't have to use nuclear arms.
And we're doing it right now with Russia.
Yeah.
If that right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and they did it with us actually it was really more China doing it with us in Vietnam. Russia was doing it with us in Korea.
Yeah.
So, but the thing, they go back to the mutually assured destruction, that is enough to create peace, that the fear of what happens if you use nuclear weapons is enough to prevent their use. And that works until it doesn't, and it only has to not work one time.
Yeah. Yeah. And to have somebody crazy enough to pull the trigger.
Yeah. As an attaboy, the IDF now admits that the Hamas-controlled Gaza Health Ministry's estimates of the death toll being around 70,000 is correct.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Remember, for years we've been told that it was the Hamas-run Gaza Health Ministry and therefore not to be trusted, whereas the aid societies were all saying, hey, they've been trustworthy in the past on their death tolls, but our news was telling us over and over, reminding us that it's lying terrorists that are giving us these numbers, so they're definitely not true. They're obviously inflated. Well, now the Israeli Defense Forces admit that, we probably killed 70,000 or so.
Yeah. That's just, that number is just wild to me. Because even if it's half that, is it okay now?
Well, it's probably double that, unfortunately.
It probably is double that, but just this whole time, it's it just blows my mind that could be acceptable in any way.
Well, they killed 1,200 Israelis.
Yeah. No. Yeah. I get it.
Teach them never to do that again. We'll see.
Yeah. That's not how those type things work.
I mean, I guess the idea is that if you kill 50 times as many as they killed, then
they'll learn.
Yeah. Another one, another attaboy for us is when we were talking about the fraud in Minnesota, I said, well, now they need to look into Medicare and Medicaid.
Yeah.
Well, California is making news again for Medicare and Cali Aid, or whatever they call their version of Medicaid, fraud over hospices.
Really?
It's not really new. I mean, there's just constantly cases going on with this. But there was some number that I saw recently. It was something like 18% of the total billing for end-of-life care, so hospice care, in the entire country comes out of LA County.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that can't be right.
You would think.
Yeah.
18% of the entire country is out of LA County.
Yeah. There's something going on there.
Yeah.
Stuff like that's wild to me because, so, I work in retail, and a lot of what I do is like loss prevention and crunching numbers. And so like those kind of outliers are like things I look at. Like if something is way out of whack like that, like it's automatically, oh, well, we need to check into that. Something's going on there. Something's not right here. Mm-hmm. Like there's no way that that's correct,
Yeah.
And it astonishes me that our government doesn't work that way at all.
No, clearly not.
Like I don't know, like you have a stat like that, and you're just like, oh well, I don't know, whatever.
Well, there's a lot of people in LA County.
Oh yeah, there is.
Some of them are probably dying.
Yeah, probably, but 18% of the country, I don't know, it just seems weird.
Yeah,
a lot of people in this country.
Yeah, it's strange. You wanted to talk about the Epstein stuff, so
yeah, just a little bit.
Let's hit that before we go. We're gonna keep it kind of short because we just did an episode. We don't want to overload you guys.
We can end on some happy news.
Yeah, right. Yes, happy news.
No. So I guess they just dropped like 3 million
They
documents.
dropped them?
Yeah, they dropped them.
Okay.
Yeah, I know
like
you have
right there in the middle of the street.
You hate that term, I know.
I do.
So yeah, they released like 3
Not as much as trauma.
Oh, it's trauma. Okay. So yeah, they just released all of this stuff, and so you've got Kash Patel and these people out there now saying, oh, we did it, we released it, and blah blah, like trying to take a victory lap on this, and it's like, I don't know, this whole thing is just wild to me that how bad they've mismanaged it, particularly Kash Patel. Like how much do we hate this guy? Like he is horrible. Like between the Epstein stuff and then talking about you can't take guns to protest. Like,
yeah.
Kash Patel's pretty crappy, man. And to think that, I don't know. I mean, I didn't know a whole lot about him before he like took his position, but like everybody loved him and thought he was going to be great. So I don't know. It's strange to me how badly this whole thing has been managed through the Trump administration, to something that they were supposed to, that like ran on and was going to release. And I don't know. It's just crazy to me.
Yeah. I think it's strange that there are people out there that are criticizing those who think that there's still obfuscation going on, with the claims that like, well, they just released 3 million pages of documents. Like, how can you still think that there's obfuscation going on? They're like, yeah, but there was like 200,000 pages of those 3 million pages that was redacted.
Yes.
So that's roughly 6% of the documents that they did release have been actually redacted. And then the 3 million documents that they released is like less than half of the total documents.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, I really do think that there could still be obfuscation going on. Yes, in fact.
And and I'm not exactly sure. I mean, these were all Department of Justice documents, if I'm understanding correctly.
Yeah, I know the only thing that I looked at was a little bit around the 2008 indictment of Jeffrey Epstein, where he got the light sentence and so forth. I looked at that a little bit. Mostly, I don't care about this because it won't go anywhere. Well, yeah. And none of it can be confirmed, really. Like, none of the claims can really be confirmed. It's it's just salacious material and it doesn't lead anywhere. So I don't have a lot of interest.
That's what's irritating about it, is because something should come of this. I mean, there's stuff in there that the least needs to be investigated.
Yeah.
And people, I mean, like, and a lot of it, like,
I wouldn't hold my breath.
Oh no, well, I'm not, obviously. Especially because we've had to fight the Trump administration to get this stuff released, and even Trump now is trying to be dismissive of all of this.
Yeah. Are you satisfied yet?
Yeah, and I don't know. The whole thing is just crazy to me. What we should be pushing for is to have what the CIA knows released, because
the CIA shouldn't really know much of anything, at least not about Americans.
I'm talking about as far as, like, I mean, there has to be ties between this Epstein guy and the CIA and all of these different bureaus.
Yeah.
I mean, as deep as this, as wide as, just from what we've seen as far as the people he interacts with, like, there's no way there's not ties there.
Yeah. That's the thing that I find to be most interesting about this, is that these broad international ties between very powerful and influential people all over the place.
Yeah.
And I think, unfortunately, like, the more of this information that I've seen, I'm starting to think it's just that, like, people with a lot of money and power and influence push the boundaries of what is acceptable, legal, what they can get away with. And this was just a guy who was, like, didn't impose any moral or ethical limits on himself about what he was willing to provide.
Yeah.
And that's why they're connected to him. Like, I don't know that it's any more than that. Now, it's absolutely possible that he could be, an asset of CIA, Mossad, Russian intelligence, MI6.
Yeah. Something.
Yeah. Russian intelligence? FSB? Is that what it's called? Anyway.
Yeah.
Or all of them. Maybe.
Yeah, I mean, that's more of what I seem to think makes the most sense, is that he was tied to all, in one way or another, tied to all of these agencies.
He's a very wealthy guy. It's easy to sell information when you've got this kind of information on people that states would be interested in.
Exactly.
Just think, our money went to that probably.
Yeah. I mean, it most certainly did.
So, but I think that, unfortunately, I think that the simplest answer, the simplest explanation is actually that this guy he was a guy that acquired things for people, and he didn't impose any kind of moral or ethical bounds on what those things would be. And that's how he ended up with all these people in his orbit.
Yeah.
Is that they were interested in pushing the limits, and he wasn't interested in limits.
Yeah. I mean, that's as good an explanation as any. But there definitely should be some more accountability.
Oh, absolutely. But I just don't think it'll.
And I'm with you. Happen. I just don't see it coming, especially. And the truth is if we weren't going to get it as hard as Trump and people in his administration, like, push for this, the fact that we're not going to get anything and that they're actually trying to push it away now just tells you that I see no hope that there ever being any accountability here. Even on something, even if it's something else, like just anything like this, like you're not going to get that kind of closure.
Yeah. It highlights that, that the rule of law is a myth.
Yeah.
It highlights that if you have the juice, like if you know the right people, you have the means, etc., that you can kind of avoid justice almost no matter what the charges are.
Yeah. And it's just irritating that, and this is obviously not something new, but like politicians, there ought to be some kind of repercussions when they don't follow through with their campaign promises. I mean, it's just, our whole system is so crazy that you can, and the war thing is the same type deal. We vote for anti-war candidates all the time, but we get more war. There's no winning.
That reminded me, I took a screenshot. I can't remember if I sent it to you or not, but I pulled from this article on CNN about Venezuela, and I just wanted to read these 2 paragraphs from the article just to kind of illustrate how poorly constructed the propaganda is if you pay attention.
Okay.
You don't even really have to pay that much attention. Like, you just have to read past the headline.
Yeah.
Right. But these are consecutive paragraphs in a CNN article about the Venezuela situation.
Okay.
It remains to be seen how the Venezuelan people will respond to a more overt CIA presence in the country post-Maduro. For years, Maduro cast the CIA as a convenient boogeyman, repeatedly accusing the agency, without evidence, of attempting to topple his regime as he clung to power despite U.S. opposition. Now the CIA has helped supplant Maduro and is poised to help actively manage the Trump administration's dealing with Venezuela's new leadership. Like, do you see this? Like, it really stands out to you, right? Yeah. Oh, a convenient boogeyman, claiming without evidence that the CIA wanted to overthrow him. Now that the CIA has overthrown him, though, blah, blah, blah. Well, it seems like he might have had reason to believe that.
Maybe he had some reasons to believe. That's just crazy.
Yeah.
No, and that's...
I would think that there was an editor back there somewhere saying, no, we should put some paragraphs in between here.
At least put some space between it.
Yeah, let's separate our lie from the truth just a little bit.
Yeah. It's one of those things, like the propaganda is just, it's not what it used to be. I mean, you think of the lead up to going into Iraq, the propaganda that was put out then, like the stuff we're getting now doesn't hold a candle to that.
Yeah.
Like it's like there's not even any effort. And I think it's because they know that they can do whatever they want.
It's the TikTok generation. After the first person read that first paragraph, they don't have enough interest to really absorb the second paragraph.
Yeah, maybe.
That was too many sentences. By the 4th sentence, I'm done.
Right. I know what I need to know. No, the propaganda is...
I mean, there is propaganda out there setting up for a war with Iran already, too.
Oh, yeah.
We'll see. We'll see what happens. You know, maybe Trump will come through like Curry expects, and I got to stop picking on Curry. I don't mean to. I love that show. Yeah. The No Agenda show is awesome.
Yeah.
I don't know. Just sometimes it feels a little out there. Recently.
Yeah.
I don't have anything else that I particularly wanted to talk about.
No, I'm good.
I'm not saying nuclear war is imminent, but I think that we should put pressure on whoever we can to create a new treaty.
Did you hear they moved the doomsday clock forward?
Oh yeah, that thing has become so completely meaningless. I don't think it's ever been more than like 2 or 3 minutes away from midnight. I think they need to recalibrate.
It's time for a recalibration.
Like, what would noon look like?
Yeah.
Like what would the situation have to be like for us to call it noon on the doomsday clock? 12 hours till midnight.
Yeah.
You know, if you start so close, like I can't wrap my mind around a perspective where it makes sense.
Yeah.
You understand what I mean?
I do. Yeah. Well, yeah, because when I had heard they had moved it to 80 seconds or whatever.
85, I believe.
Was it 85?
Mm-hmm.
Even that was odd to me. Like, why wouldn't you just say like a minute and 15 seconds or whatever it is? Like, I don't know. That seemed weird.
Yeah.
And it, like I say, I don't understand the perspective as far as like it's so close. Like if it's always so close, then are we just always on the steps of death?
Yeah. If we eliminated nuclear weapons, what time would it be?
Yeah.
I just want to try and figure out what exactly they're looking for.
Yeah. Like what time was it before we set off the first one?
Yeah.
Like what time was that? And then let's move from there.
Let me try and get an idea of like what kind of ranges we're working in. I just think it needs to be recalibrated. It's been so close to midnight since the thing was invented. It seems like I said, I don't think it's ever been more than 3 minutes away from midnight. And if that's the case, then it just becomes kind of meaningless.
Yeah.
It doesn't have the impact that it used to. It's just not scary. They may as well be telling me to duck and cover again.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, but now I've gotten old enough that I realize that a desk is not going to protect me from a thermonuclear weapon. So,
but it makes you feel better.
Not really. It did when I was 10 or whatever, but
it did when
it doesn't now.
It did when I had the body that I could crawl under it.
Yeah. When I could crawl under a desk, I felt a lot different about this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that would be a lot more of a task today for me, at least.
Yeah, well, we could get under the edge of this table. It's thicker than any desk I ever had.
Yeah, I'd hate to have this fall on me.
Yeah, it's got a strong
base.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you can actually get inside the base too. We could take the top off, get inside the base, and then put. I don't think we could all fit that.
Oh, well.
One of us could.
One of us could. One of us could survive.
Oh yeah, it belongs to me. So.
So you get to survive.
Okay, well, let's go ahead and wrap it up.
All right.
Trying to think.
Next week's tough.
Next week's tough?
Yeah.
Well, we got to make it work because the 2 weeks after that
are tough.
Yeah.
We'll figure something out, but it may not be Friday.
Yeah. Actually, the second of those weeks, I get back on the Friday. Late though, so it would have to be Saturday maybe that we record, but we'll figure it out.
We can do a doomsday episode. We can do it at 11 or 10 something.
We can start at 3 minutes till midnight.
Yeah, exactly.
See if we survive.
Yeah, exactly.
That sounds like a great plan.
Doomsday episode it is.
All right. Well, we're going to wrap it up here. We'll be back next week. In the meantime, you can follow us on Facebook. We will be back next week.
Yeah, we'll be back next week. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. You said that at me like it was my fault.
Well, you said that next week is the problem.
It is a problem, but we'll be here.
Okay. In the meantime, you can follow us on Facebook. You can subscribe on iTunes, YouTube, Podbean, like and share, comment. You can always email me, michael@thelibertymike.com. I think that's all the things again. All the interaction helps, so we appreciate that. And we'll be back next week when we finally get this right. And in the meantime, try to stay free.
Life short, live free.
Ciao.
Later.